I mean, I don't know. I don't want to really get too deep into that anymore because I want to leave it behind and not live in the past anymore. Today's a whole new day. It's sunny and it's nice, and I mean, even though I've only had an hour and a half of sleep, I'm in a pretty damn good mood actually. Yes, yes, and that was talked about a little bit this week, Luna, in the news cycle. I saw who was that? Who was that brought that up? Oh shit, I can't remember. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I don't remember, but yeah, the number's somewhere between 300 and 350,000 that are just unaccounted for. Don't know where they're at. They're just somewhere floating around in the country and probably being exploited and trafficked. And before it was sealed up down there, they were being trafficked back and forth across that border. But now, as we've seen, y'all seen me share some stuff. Did y'all see me share? Did y'all see that one? I think it was last week. I posted a list of some of them. Every single one of those people that were apprehended had um, SO, okay, charges with minors. And so you can only imagine with those 350,000 kids that are floating around the country that nobody knows where they're at, what's being done with them right now? What's happening to those children? You're sleep deprived too, Christine? Did you sleep at all? Like, I mean, look, I fell asleep for an hour and a half, and I woke up, and I've just been, I don't know, I don't know, I don't even know. But yeah, I mean, you guys watch that, and I'm gonna post that shit too. Every time I get another list of those, and especially when we can start getting track of these kids, when they start getting locating these children, we're gonna post that shit. And we're gonna follow that stuff and try to find out what's been going on. What's been you got 2 hours? Well, you did about 30 minutes better than I did. But yeah, we're gonna keep track of that and see exactly what's been happening with those children because I mean, God only knows. With the rabbi, ooh, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that, and I haven't even really looked around and some children and see how. Unfortunately, I mean, I can't even say I'm surprised. Unfortunately, has he been charged? Luna, has he been caught and charged yet, or are these just allegations, accusations? Like, where are we at with it right now? Maybe that's something we should keep an eye on. I haven't even had a chance to scroll through and kind of look and see what's coming through the news or anything for today because um ever since I woke up this morning, I've been reflecting and kind of thinking, and I've done a little bit of regretting, and then I have gotten a lot of good counsel from good people. So I've gotten some good advice, and I started to. Y'all probably saw the post. I started to come on and go ahead and hit some things just to wrap it. But you know what? We did that. We did that last night. That's wrapped and it's over. Really discussing me doing children. I'm doing research on it, but doing rituals with children. Oh my goodness, man. That's insane. Well, we'll see about that because we'll put it we'll post it up. I haven't seen it yet. Hey Virginia, how you doing? You having a good afternoon? A good Sunday? Are you talking to me, Lena? Did you send me something? Something. Hey Shelly, good to see you back here. I do just want. Okay, did you send it to my text or did you send it to the page? I'll have to look. You're tired too. I mean, y'all, we had a long ass night. Like I said, I mean, yeah, I saw that. I got it. Um, Luna and I have done some 4-hour lives, and we thought that was like holy shit, and we live for 4 hours. But yes, yes, I did, Luna. Okay, so that's what you're talking about. I got you. Yeah, I beat you to that one. I know, I got it, Christine. It's all good. We're not even going to. We're just not doing that anymore. We're over that. We're done with all that. We have better shit to do with and actual quality people that we can associate with and chit chat with, talk, have fun, and do our thing. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to stay focused on our shit over here. And so, I'll apologize for the drama because that doesn't belong here. That's not what this is about. So, this right here, what we're doing right here, we can do this anytime y'all want to. We can chat and cut up and play and bullshit and talk about stuff. People can come up. We can, do our thing. And we're going to keep on the mission of what we're doing here, y'all, which is Luna out here decoying and getting these nasty bastards, exposing off the streets and shit. And we're going to post all the stuff that we find out about the people that are doing this, that are exploiting these kids, that are, that's what we're trying to do here. And that's what we're going to do. So, um, a whole day's work. One, I know, Virginia. I mean, like, wow. I've never ever been live for 7.5 hours, but um, and y'all, this is another thing too. I know I was told several times, and I've looked at some of my messages today. I probably just didn't realize it because I was so focused on what I was talking about that I did not see hardly any comments last night. So I apologize to everybody that was trying to say something to me, that was trying to get my attention, or that I didn't respond to. I didn't miss anybody on purpose, and I was not definitely not trying to ignore anybody. Yes, definitely, Luna, because I mean, like you and I were talking about that a little bit. Was it last night or Friday night about yeah, it was Friday night about the one that you got on the line right now. That dude is fucking gross. But yeah, I heard about some more gross shit, and this kind of makes me feel icky too. And I'm not even gonna go into it, but if you know, you know. But he posted a guy who molested a 7-year-old, and he's waiting for ICE to pick him up. See, Jess, I mean, look, it seems to be a common denominator with these. Like, what was that? About 8 of them I posted in that one post last week or the week before. It seems like it was early last week when I posted it, but I'm not sure. But all of those that were captured, every single one of them had some type of, um, you know, crimes against children. And like Luna and I was talking about here a few minutes ago, there's 300,000 of them that we don't know where they're at right now. They're floating around the country. We don't know who has them, if they're actually in a good home or if they're being passed around. And, Yes, absolutely. Lena says, I constantly go to my friends list and followers. If your page looks fake, you will not be accepted or you'll be booted. Absolutely. We all know each other. Like all of us here, we know each other. We all talk. We've all talked. So that's what we'll do. Let's just keep it all focused on us, all of us, all of us friends, right? So, and what we're trying to do here. I mean, all that other stuff is for those pages that are made for that. We're not made for that. That was just some of my personal life that everybody has kind of known and seen and been a part of for quite a while, that exploded and came to the top, and it's out and it's over with and it's done now. So did you see her comment, Luna? She's real. I mean, y'all, we're gonna have, you know how it is. We're gonna have people that are gonna come in. They're gonna try to disrupt what we're trying to do because, I mean, they don't want us focused on what it is that we're trying to focus on. You're a robot. Yeah, I guess we need like one of those captcha things, right? Like prove that you're. See, and when I was on that other profile or that other platform, I could look and I could see, I mean, right in front of me on my screen, like how many followers they had. I could tell who was the trolls because they had 0 followers and 0 friends. And, but, I would let them sit and hang out. I mean, we got them sitting hanging out right now. Believe that. And if they're not in the eyeball, they're in the rafters anyways, or hiding behind the curtains. Just know that, and we don't care. I mean, that's their problem, not ours. So all who come in get blocked if you're not talking about the subject at hand. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, we can chit chat and bullshit. We all know what we're trying to do here and what we want to do, and what the goal is. And but we can do this right here. We can bullshit with each other. And yeah, yeah, Shelly, and you've been around for a long time, so um, and I'm glad you've stuck around with us. And again, I know you caught in last night on. I don't know how far we were into that, but I'm sorry. A lot of people had to hear that. There was a lot of people that listen or look at some of the things that we post and stuff like that that didn't want to hear any of that shit. It's not what this is about. So that's what I'm apologizing for. Those people who caught in on a bunch of drama that doesn't have anything to do with what we're trying to do here. So that's what I'm apologizing for right now. Maybe talk crap about Luna and Mike and anyone in the chat. Bye bye, Felicia. That's right. I mean, like, let's all just protect each other, right? I mean, because we already know what's what, right? I mean, we know what gets said behind our backs and about us and whatever and wherever and whenever. And who cares? I mean, who cares? Let's just all be here for each other and do what we're trying to do here, and we can all help each other out and enjoy it, have fun with it. And we can do this shit. Does anybody want to come up and BS? Here, let me drop the link. Um, okay. Oops. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Well, what the hell? Why does it say that? Okay, let me try this again. I'm telling y'all. They call me a rookie, and I am, y'all. I'm a fucking total rookie at this. Like, I don't try to hide that shit. I mean, it is what it is. I'm up here fumbling with the controls. I don't give a damn, right? I mean, like I can barely work my phone. Um, okay, give this one more go. Oh, you know what? I think I could have done that a different way. Now let's see what it does, because it's not saying like it did. Nope. See, that's what it. Mm-mm. Look at that. Okay, let me try this again. Y'all, bear with me here. Okay, let's see if I can do it this way. Share. Well, shit. Okay, I copied it that time. I'm almost positive I did. There it is. I got it, y'all. Check me out. I'm up here getting shit done. I'm all by myself too, getting it done. Can't stay long. Got to get my horses tall and barn ready for the cold weather. Kind of, yeah. Um, so are you in that area right there, Shelly, where we're gonna get the 4 to 5 inches? Like, how much are they saying you're gonna get? Yes, I had a couple horses too when I was growing up. Misty and Windy. We had a retired quarter horse and a little Appaloosa, and then we had a Shetland pony named Panther, and he was a mean little bitch. He was mean as hell, ornery little fucker. 5 to 6. You're in the 5 to 6 inch. God. And you know what? Then we go into -25 wind chills, so all the snow that falls is going to stay for days. All the schools are going to be closed all week next week. It's going to be a mess, a complete mess. There's the link, you guys. If anybody wants to come up, hit it, and I'll snatch you and drag you up here with me. If anybody got anything they want to BS about, I don't know. Yeah, that little Shetland pony that was a bitch. I know. I mean, we're supposed to break some records. We're supposed to break some old records. So we'll see. Yeah, you probably got a lot to do to get prepared for that. I mean, I was fortunate when I was a kid. I got to grow up on a ranch. It was formerly a sheep ranch, and when we got a hold of it, we ranched cows on it, cattle. And I some of y'all know this about me, but that's how I bought my first car. I raised bottle calves and I fed them my bottle before I went to school. I fed them my bottle when I got home from school, and I raised them until they went on grass and feed, and then sometimes I would hold on to them until they were mated, and then I'd take them to sell, and just it varied. But by the time I turned 13, 14 years old, I already had several $1,000s in the bank for my first car. My first car sat out in the yard for a year before I ever got my driver's license. And I'd come home off the bus and get in the car, and y'all check this out. This car had a fucking 8-track player in it. And I had an Eagles 8-track, and I would stick that in there and sit and listen to the Eagles after school. So I couldn't drive. Right. I mean, it could go either way, Shelly. We could get 10 inches, or we might get two, and they should say 5 to 6. You know, who knows? I had a car; it just had fur. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I got around. Yeah, I bet you them horses get them some blankets and everything, and they'll weather it well. Do your horses run, Shelly, or do you just love on them? That's something else that Luna and I have talked about. Luna's she's got a love for animals, and she's rescued several dogs and stuff. We've always talked about even kicking some of that around, just to keep things going and moving, and things to talk about, things to do, and so I mean, and you guys, of course, if y'all have any kind of anything you're interested in that you want us, see us do, talk about, post up, let us know. We just kind of want to keep it, do our thing, and try to bring awareness to what it is that we're trying to show everybody and prevent. Now they're just living their best life. Well, that's good. The one we had, she was a retired racehorse. She was a quarter horse, and from what I understand, she was pretty damn good in her heyday. She still had it. When I would ride her, it scared the shit out of me. Of course, I mean, I was like 12 when we first got her, so she was plenty quick enough for me. I mean, coming off of a Shetland and getting onto a quarter horse, yeah, you can imagine. Yeah, the reason I was asking is I mean, I've spent some time at Remington Park, and not just back with the horses, but up behind the glass too, throwing down a few wagers. I used to be able to handicap them pretty well back in the day, but that was a long time ago. Like when my first daughter was born, her her mother and our boss, he taught me how to handicap the horses, and we go sit out there and play them up. Learned about when they're bringing them out, and walking them around right there, watch how they lean, and I mean, and rest and stuff, this and that. There's a lot of things that goes into it, but you got to do a lot of studying too. You can you can win pretty good betting on horses, or you can have a really bad day. It's a whole lot like the casino, really. I mean, it's hit and miss, and but if you study and pay attention, you can do pretty well at it. It's kind of fun. And it's always cool to be around horses. I mean, come on. I know, Shelly. I have seen some of that stuff, and I've actually seen some stuff down in the stables at Remington Park that I thought was pretty sad. But you know, unfortunately, it's like that with, excuse me. I mean, like any kind of animal, there's good owners and there's really, excuse me, really bad ones. Luna says they're big dogs. I mean, they kind of are. Like they have their own personality and their own. It's wild, how you can. Yeah, it sure is, Shelly. It's all about the money, and there is some big money in it too. But there's a lot of abuse and neglect and stuff like that that goes on too. So some of it's kind of sad, but there's a lot to be learned there too. And it's like I said, it's always cool to be around horses. Horses are awesome. But that's kind of how it was for me growing up as a kid. I mean, we lived out in the woods. In the wintertime, we cut wood, and in the summer, we cut hay. And We ran cattle, and I mean, I can't even tell you how many roosters I've been chased by, and I'm sure a bunch of y'all can relate to that. Some bitches can be mean. Yes, when they are. And that's kind of how Misty was. She was a retired quarter horse that, a running horse she actually raced, and I'm sure she seen some things, saw some things that through her days, but she was a sweet horse. She had a real cool personality. That little her little filly, that little bitch, one day my grandpa gave me a bucket of oats and said, "Go down the pasture and bring Wendy up." I go down there and try to lure her in with the bucket of oats, bring her up to the barn, and she was like not moving. And so I set the bucket down and let her get a taste of it. And she like turned around and looked at me and then turned back around and then kicked the hell out of me. And then turned around, looked at me, and then kicked me again before I could even get up. I was done. I was like, fuck it. I left the oats and everything and ran to the fence. But hell, I've been chased by bulls and everything else. So start them at 2 years old. Some horses' knees are not completely formed yet, so you can just picture what happened. Yeah. Yeah, Luna, have you not ever been chased by a farm animal? You haven't lived until you've been chased by a fucking rooster. I bet everybody's been chased by a goose before. Those little bastards. Man, we had this one rooster, like every time you go between the house and the barn, this son bitch would chase you. He was the mean son bitch. And one day, me and my grandpa was out in the barn, and we were like digging a little thing around the edge of the barn so that the rainwater could. It was kind of almost like a little mini ditch thing. Anyway, um, here come that my grandpa. He was like, that rooster, he don't do it because they never did chase my grandpa. But here he come that one day and went after him. My grandpa had that shovel in his hand. He golfed that son bitch. And that rooster flew all the way across the barn, and man, he was like hunkered down in the ground making all kinds of fucked up noises for like an hour. He finally got up, but he was tamed after that. He did do no he there was no more chasing in his life. He was done with that. Get chased by a goat. My uncle used to have a billy that had some pretty good sized horns. You couldn't turn your back on him. He'd fucking butt you, and it was not fun. Like he could lift you up off the ground. My all of my cattle, all the ones I raised, they were calves. I'd get them from the auction as calves, and I mean I had them halter trained. I could go out into the pasture and call them up by name, and they'd come up to me. I had halters on them. I could walk them. I could do whatever. People were like, wow, cows. I'm like, yeah. I mean, they're my friends. And she had this little goat, and so her kids had a game who could run fast enough to the fence without getting bucked. See, that's what you do on the farm. I mean, that's your entertainment right there. They run from the fucking farm animals. I got a baby chick for Easter one year when I was young. The rooster grew up and was a mean sucker. They can be, man. They can be ornery as hell. And it's funny as hell. I don't know if y'all ever watch any videos, but Google it. Watch these fucking roosters chase people down. Cause I mean, sometimes those some bitches have got spurs and, they'll fly up on you and flog you and try to jab them spurs into you and shit. It's not, I mean, that's not for the faint of heart. I mean, you better have some toughness to you if you're going to live out on the farm. It's definitely not like being raised up in the city for sure. Yes, absolutely, decoy, Luna. I think it's the best way of living too, and I think it's a great way to raise your children. A good place for them. They're not up in the middle of all the drugs and the all the bullshit that's up in the middle of the city and in the city schools. But there's nothing wrong with that either. So I mean, don't get me wrong, y'all. Like I'm not dogging it. I'm just saying that it's a great those of us that got to live that way as kids, it's a great way to grow up and it's a good way to raise kids out in the country. And a little bit harder for them to get in trouble. I got in trouble mainly with my BB gun. I was always getting in trouble with my BB gun over something. But that's what I did. I mean, I'd take my BB gun, I'd go off into the woods, I'd be gone all damn day. I mean, Shelly, once you lived out in the country for a long time and then you go in and try to live in a neighborhood, it takes some getting used to. When you're used to your nearest neighbor being a couple miles down the road instead of 10 feet away from you, it's a whole different ballgame. Yeah, I mean, I love it. It's quiet, it's quiet and it's calm and it's peaceful and I don't know. It's a good way to live. But if you like the city, you like the action, and you like to get out there and get in it, well, then that's where it's at. And then you grow up out in the country like that, and then as soon as you get your license and you can get out and drive and shit, that's where you want to go is to the city because you want to go get off into the shit, on Friday nights and Saturday nights and shit. Or what we did was cruised on Friday and Saturday nights. We cruised our car up and down the strip like until like 2 o'clock in the morning, just burning gas, driving back and forth, turn around at Sonic and go back down and do it again. But and like all of us with Camaros, we had one place where we'd park and we would park right up by the street and we'd pop our hood and we'd all just kind of kick back against our cars and everybody would cruise by and we're showing off our shit, all our chrome under our hoods and all that shit. So we thought we were the hottest shit on the strip on the cruise, all the Camaro guys. We would sit there and make fun of the Mustang guys. You know what? I think a lot of people from the country are Ford people. You get a Ford, Shelly, or a Chevrolet kind of lady. I've always been a Chevrolet kind of guy myself. Um, my grandpa had 4 car lots at one point, and that's also where I worked when I was a kid. When we wasn't raising cattle, we were on the car lot. So I got to know trucks, and that's all I sold was trucks. Yeah, see, what is it? What is it with country people and Fords? Yeah, Luna's. I'm over for it. I'm with you on that, Luna. Like I've been there, but you know what? I've had a couple Fords. You could drive up a grease tree, but I mean, I'm a Chevy guy. I like just about everything classic though, and in fact, I think I have shared some classic cars in here before. I'm a sucker for hot rod. I don't know what's up with these young kids nowadays taking these trucks and making them stick up in the air in the front. That looks so stupid. I don't get that. When I was in high school, we had our shit jacked up in the back, big old white ass tires on it. Yeah, I mean, I've had both through the years, and I've had good luck with both of them. I've just always kind of been a Chevy guy, and I don't know, they seem to be a little bit more quality built to me. No, I mean, nothing's built like it used to be. Anyway, and everything is all junk anymore. I mean, well, not junk, but it's just not built like it used to be. Well, I guess nobody wanted to come up and chit chat. We've been live for about almost an hour now, y'all. I just kind of wanted to come back in and just. I have a 2024. Yeah, her transmission went out over the summer with only 67,000 miles on it. Yeah, and then been through a bunch of bullshit with them over that thing too. Luna has with her Ford. I went through that transmission bullshit with a Dodge truck, and I never bought another Dodge after that again. One of my favorite trucks I had though when I first went into business was a big old black 4-wheel drive Dodge truck, crew cab, and that sumbitch was slick. And it was had custom exhaust on it. You could hear me coming, getting kicked to the curb soon, huh? Yeah, as soon as we can get these damn interest rates down and get shit back to normal, you can't even buy eggs right now. Shit. I've been seeing those posts with people putting pictures up showing that shortages because of the avian bird flu and stuff on the eggs, and there's places that are people are paying $10 a $10, $12 a dozen for them. It's insane. They have a Dodge Hellcat, hell yeah, and a Land Rover Defender, hell yeah. I bet that Hellcat's fun. What color is your Hellcat, Shelly? I mean, four-cylinder, metallic red, but looks burgundy. Yeah, I know what color you're talking about. Yeah, that's a good looking one. I saw a guy tear one up the other day. He pulled out and jumped on it, and it got sideways back and forth, and he ended up wrapping it around a tree. You get away from you if you don't know what's what. I've always had a big V8 under my foot, though. My truck's got the biggest V8 that you can get. And it uses a little bit more gas, but I don't mind. That's the price you pay to buy a truck, to drive a truck. You can't go from a truck to a car. Just it don't. Well, I mean, I do. I have a car too, but and I have an SUV too, but go back and forth to them every once in a while, and it just feels weird coming out of a truck. From a truck into a car, it just feels weird. I'm kind of a truck guy, but I mean, unless it's a hot rod. That was my husband deal, a Hellcat. I don't get into this fast stuff. You don't like to get in there and cut it loose every now and then? I wouldn't be able to keep from it. Get that sucker up on the highway and open it up. Let's see if I couldn't get it up to about 160. I had a 65 Chevy Stepside pickup that had a bored out 350 in it, and it had a 3-speed in it when I first got it, and it was a mean son of a bitch out of the hole. Like it was a lot of fun, but it could get away from you. There was a lot of horsepower into that gas pedal. But that's my kind of shit. I'm into the loud, obnoxious old hot rods and stuff. So I mean, I like a little bit of comfort and luxury. My truck is, it's not my truck's not loud, but I used to race. So what, like drag racing or roundy round cars? We got a little bit of all that here in Oklahoma, don't we, Shelley? I think everybody knows that, Oklahoma's famous for the Street Outlaw show. In fact, I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with the Street Outlaw show, but Farm Truck, before he got on the show, he's always been in the racing scene, and he would drag race where we would go cruise our cars at on Friday nights. But he was also in the tile business before he got onto the Street Outlaw show. So, I knew him from in and out of tile stores and uh, around job sites and stuff like that. So, in fact, I got some pictures of me and him and Asian together in 2 or 3 different places. And one of my friends is actually very good, close personal friends with them and travels with them and stuff and does events. Oh, he was on Street Outlaw, Shelly? What's his car? He raced quarter mile. Was he regular on the show? I bet I didn't. I mean, I know most of those cars. Um, we had a friend when we was a kid that had a '57 Chevy that he raced quarter mile, and he had lost a leg in Vietnam. And I mean, this is back in the day before automatic transmissions were you know very common in race cars, and so it was a 4-speed Muncie, and he could hit those gears. That wooden leg, that uh, prosthetic leg didn't stop him a bit. I mean, he could run through them gears and give it hell coming down the strip. 70 Chevelle. Oh my God, I love a Chevelle. Midnight Blue. Hell yes. Man, you got all the good toys. We need to all go to Shelly's house. She's got horses and race cars and Hellcats, and we're all coming over for supper, Shelly. Yeah, what a pretty color too. Blue's my favorite. The truck I got right now is blue. The one I had before it was blue. And the one before that one was pearl. That pearl white one was probably my favorite one of the last 3 or 4 that I've had. And she says, "Come on, what are we having? We're having some fried chicken or chicken fried steak. I mean, you know how we do it here: chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes and gravy, and some fried okra. Maybe some green beans to go along with that. Some fresh snaps. How we doing it out there in the country on your place, Shelly? What's on the menu like that? Tell them how the country folk do it. I really think that I'm gonna make some black eyed peas today and like some fried potatoes and cornbread. That sounds pretty good. I'm actually kind of hungry for some chili. What kind of chilly weather? So Shelly, was he one of the racers on Street Outlaws that I would recognize, or did he just kind of get to race on the show against them, or what? Probably hamburgers tonight, huh? Well, man, ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, hell, a hamburger's good anytime. Hamburgers are always good. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to come in and see if anybody wanted to kind of chit chat a little bit, and kind of start heading back into the direction where we always wanted to go and where we try to go, and not be detoured or deterred by last night or any of the other lives where we've been interrupted and disturbed and stuff by extra people. And you know we're not going to go in that direction, but we can do this right here, and when we go live we can talk about anything we y'all want to talk about. It doesn't have to be, we don't have to stay focused 100% when we're doing this on predators and everything else, because I mean there's you know need a little bit of cutting up and visiting and shit like that. So he's on the show, not a regular, but raced them on time. Cool. I bet I saw that car. I mean, because I don't know that I ever missed an episode. My kind of shit right there. Yeah, we need to have some fun. It's all fake. Somehow I'm not surprised. Yeah, sometimes Lena, we get, you and I get to cutting up and shit, but I mean, like the distractions, that's what I'm saying. We don't need any of that, and what went down last night's not going to go down anymore. So, but yeah, so hell, nobody wanted to come up and BS, and it's been we've had like one idiot. Other than that, we got to BS a little bit, y'all. So it was enjoyable. I think I'm gonna jump off here and focus on cooking up something good to eat. I haven't ate. You have to let them win. Well, yeah, they're the stars. They're supposed to win, right? And that's the reason why they get paid millions. I think that show just about ran its course, and they've spun everything they could off of it. It seems like, but who knows? I mean, drag racing will never die. Ooh, the Daytona 500. I didn't even watch the Daytona 500 today. Damn it. I got so distracted by everything, y'all. And like all over the place. Y'all can tell. I'm sure you can tell I'm all over the place. I'm sleep deprived and still pretty emotional about stuff. And it's a whole plethora. I mean, I'm running the gamut today, believe that. But just kind of wanted to jump on, touch base with everybody, BS a little bit, see what everybody's up to, see if anybody else had anything they wanted to talk about. Then El Reno one night with them by the prison. Oh, I watched that episode. Yeah, I watched that episode. The road out in front of the prison. Dang, now I'm gonna have to go back and find that episode so I can see y'all's car. Is that an episode your car was on, Shelly? I remember the very episode you're talking about. You can drive by there and still see the marks in the road, the black for the tires. Yeah, they shut down the whole road. I noticed that you could tell, like, if you're paying attention to the cameras, and they had the lights all set up, and cops had the roads blocked off and shit. I was coming back from Florida one night, and it was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. We were on our way home after spending a week, and we were coming down I-35 through Moore, Shelley. We were probably about right around 59th Street. get home. I was 12 straight hours on the road and had like 20 minutes to get home, and that's where I was going. You do a week on the beach and in the sun all day, and then the club scene at night, and then you wear yourself out for a whole 7 days, beat the hell out of yourself like that, and then drive 12 hours straight because everybody else is passed out in the back seat and can't drive because they're too sleepy. So usually I'm the one that gets stuck with that both ways, unless we fly in, but we like to drive it. It's not that big of a deal. Got there at 5 in the evening, didn't leave till 7 the next morning. And if you're with the crew, you couldn't leave. Yeah, see, it was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning whenever I passed by there and saw that filming, and I was like, wow, that is super freaking late. They're still out there. And you could tell they were right in the middle of all of it. So I mean, I kind of slowed down a little bit and rubbernecked it a bit, and caught a couple of cars making a pass, but I couldn't really tell who it was that were making the pass, but it was pretty neat to see, like road tired, dead from the road, and sunburnt, and all that good stuff. But anyways, guys, uh, just want to come on and talk to everybody a little bit, and I don't know, just kind of. It's been a rough day for me, but it's been. Yesterday was too. Last night was, and literally the last 4 or 5 months has been. So hopefully that's behind me, and um, I just kind of want to come in and just kind of be present with you guys for a little bit. And I am sorry for the drama, y'all. I know that's not what we're here for, so we're not going to have it anymore. We're going to do this, and we're going to do what we're here to do. And hopefully we can have some fun sometimes and just cut up and bullshit and talk about whatever we want to talk about. And then in between all that, maybe we can watch some pedos go to jail. So I think I'll go ahead and jump back off of here, you guys, and get busy on some Sunday supper. But I just wanted to stop in and say hi to everybody. I hope y'all have a good rest of your Sunday. And Luna and I we'll get it live going here maybe sometime this week. If not, we'll do on Friday night, I'm sure. And I'm probably speaking out of turn. I don't know that what Luna's got going on, but we'll see. But I'll make sure and give everybody some advance on it. So, but anyhow, hopefully see everybody in between now and then, and we'll talk to everybody soon. Y'all have a good Sunday. Bye, y'all.